Hello, my friends. Thanks for joining. Welcome. What is even today? Is today Monday? I think it's Monday. While we wait for some others to join, I just posted the link inside the iHeart AI. I love AI community. So hopefully we'll get some people to join us. We just passed 400 members in the community. Super exciting. So I just posted that in there. Lots to talk about today. Good morning, AI. This is all about this session, this time I spend with you is just about what I'm up to, what I'm learning, what I've learned from others, and anything and everything I can share with you. I get questions all the time, and most questions I don't know the answer to. So I go on this research hunt to find the right answer from the right people and bring those to you. I do kind of feel like an investigative reporter these days because there's so much happening in this space and lots of companies. So if you know anything or know anything fun, cool, interesting that's happening in this space, please feel free to join us. The QR code is right up there. You can join us in the community. You're welcome to share those ideas. We only ask that you do not promote yourself and spam the community. We have a couple moderators now. Thank you for those of you who volunteered to do that and who are moderating the content. And unfortunately, if you do not, kind of come to the table with your best, brightest, and willingness to help others, you probably will not get to stay in the community very long. But so excited to be with you today. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm going to check in. Oh, yeah, I have to pull up my chat. If you are here, now is a great time to say hello. You can type into the chat. Hello, you could say you're live. What's up, Sharmila? Awesome. Nepal is in the house. Talisha is here. Thank you so much for joining me. This is amazing. So I'll try to keep chat open so I can see you. And it is always wonderful to hang out with you all. We've got some really exciting stuff happening all over the place this week. I do try to come to you live every single week. We are also going to be starting to connect weekly in our new community for those who are willing to take the brand new just launched AI leadership class. It's called the AI Leadership Masterclass, the AI Leadership Institute, which I founded a little under 10 years ago, about 9 years ago now. It will celebrate its 10th and very exciting anniversary in 2025. Um, but this company was created to help originally executives and boards get comfortable with AI in 2015 when we were doing a lot of work at Alexa, Google, and Microsoft in building democratized APIs, not really generative at that moment, right? We were building computer vision models that you could leverage. We were building other things. So really interesting stuff that was happening back then. And then, of course, it's only gotten more and more exciting. But I realized I didn't just want executives and boards to hear the things that we were sharing and the information that we were learning. I wanted to take the knowledge that I was gaining from Stanford and MIT and Harvard and Sloan, like all of these really great business schools, as well as AI organizations, and bring that to everyone, to you, specifically those of you who are in the space where you are navigating a career now infused with AI, whether you like it or not. So great to have you here. Thank you so much. Super exciting to see you. Good morning to everyone. And yes, feel free to chime in at any time in the chat if you'd like to. The first bit of news we have on the Good Morning AI show today is that Sapphire, SAP Sapphire, is this month. And I have a really fun, experience with SAP Sapphire event. I've participated in it multiple times. Last year, though, it was timed at a really interesting moment in kind of generative AI history. And a group of really cool people at Accenture were working on a project we were working really hard to try and build something that we could demonstrate at Sapphire. I actually now, in the hubbub of all of that happening, don't remember if we actually even demoed. But the process of having an idea, I think got the idea about 4 weeks ahead of Sapphire, and then being able to create something that was reasonably good 4 weeks later was relatively new at that time, specifically with kind of production level generative AI. So super exciting. Ellison, my friend, good morning. Adonis, thank you for joining. Super cool to see all my friends here. Thank you so much for being here. So one of the things that I love about Sapphire is that I don't know if you know this, but SAP is in like, I don't, what, 98% of the Fortune 500. Most of us, even if we don't personally use SAP, it is certainly in our ecosystem of things we use every day, whether it's our employee, any type of work we're doing inside a company is often touching SAP at some point. But also, I think even more fascinating to me is the amount of professionals that are SAP experts. I remember reading this like 500-page document that had been written by the consultants at Accenture all around the different configurations that you could do for different SAP. And I was like, wow, like who reads this? Like who goes through a 500-page document? Some of us maybe, but I definitely think it's kind of in the 1% of the 1%. And so this is where a generative model becomes so interesting, right? That we can think about a world where we could take a 500-page document and allow someone to ask questions of it, even provide what I call nudging, not nagging type of assistance, where we can detect certain configurations that are already in place and be able to provide nudging assistance about, hey, based on the situation, you might want to make a different choice, not necessarily nag them, not necessarily bother the user, but actually be very helpful contextually at the time they need that help most. And so I find that's true for most consultants that are in the business of doing configurations and building systems that most people don't want to build, which is why consultancies exist. We want to, as a business owner, I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I go and ask my friends, my consultants over at PwC or Accenture or Deloitte to do that work for me. It's not uncommon, but someone does do this work. We are not at the level yet today that you can press a button and have this work done for you by an automated system of AI agents. Maybe that day is coming, probably sooner than we expect, but today it happens with real people. So SAP Sapphire is a great opportunity to hear from an organization that is implementing generative AI in production at scale for millions of users. And it's different than the cloud providers, right? Like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, because SAP is they're building a business application and they're embedding these technologies in it. So even if you're not looking for SAP specifically, like maybe you're not an SAP person, maybe you don't even know that product. What I love about these events, specifically the keynotes, is to watch the progression of AI and the evolution of the leadership team that is leading this company. So they have appointed a chief AI officer, as many companies are beginning to do. And they also have a chief technology officer, and I think probably a chief information officer. They have an AI products leader. They have a customer service person. I think there's some really interesting capabilities in the customer service space that are still untapped, even though last year we did lots and lots of work in this space during my time at Accenture. So I think it's a really cool opportunity, even if you're not really into SAP as a product, to just look at how people are talking about this. Yes, watch NVIDIA's keynote. Yes, watch the Google Cloud providers. But I think it's so fascinating when you start to looking at business application providers and the trajectory that they're using. So I will be watching all of these keynotes virtually over the next 3 days. Every day, I will come to you live and tell you my take on things that they said. Sometimes they say things and contextually, I get what they're saying because I've built production AI before, but sometimes not everybody understands. I'm like, did you see what they just did there? So I'll be bringing you my personal behind the scenes kind of perspective on what's happening at SAP this year. Sapphire's in Orlando. I will not be in Orlando because I will be heading to a totally different event. I will be in Texas, Arlington, Texas, flying into Dallas. This is my flight gear. So I'm headed out in just about an hour, actually. So I'm cutting it pretty close. But I will be headed out to Dallas to speak at the NAED conference. I'm doing a keynote followed by two advanced innovation workshops. And what that means is I'm going to be doing, the reason it's kind of got a relatively vague name is because I like to whiteboard my sessions when I get a chance to be in a room with a smaller group of people, right? So I'll be in front of, I don't know, a couple thousand people probably in the keynote, but in the smaller group, maybe there'll be only 100 or 200 people. And I like to be able to just put the slides aside, show versus tell. Now, here's the good news, everyone listening. For those of you who become members of the AI Leadership Institute, you can see that link down below. You will actually get a recording of this session, and everybody in my institute will get recordings of every keynote I do. Some of them are very similar, but in this case, I will be doing some advanced workshops, and these are pretty special. They are whiteboards, which means they happen differently every time I do them. They also are integrated with the questions and the concerns of the audience. I'm going to be talking to electrical engineering organizations. So their conversations on electronics and electricity and utilities and all of that it's just a very different world. I also get to speak specifically to women in this space, which is, I always think like tech, being a woman in tech you're kind of an underrepresented group, but being a woman in tech in an underrepresented industry like agriculture or electrical engineering or civil engineering, this is, you check a bunch of boxes. And so I find that that's really fascinating as well. So I'm headed there. I will be recording that for those of you who join the AI Leadership Institute. Right now, to give you a sense of what's happening in my spare time, what I love to do is I'm trying to figure out a way to take what I do every day in the rooms that I'm in, right? I get to speak on some of the biggest stages. I actually took some notes so I could remind you what stages I'm about to be on. And if you're going to be in these cities, let's get together. I would love to have coffee. And if there's more than one of us, like we can all get together, take a selfie. You all know me and my selfies. So SAP Sapphires this week. Coming up soon, we actually have a huge announcement coming from Adobe. I'm not allowed to say anymore. I cannot wait. So as soon as it comes out, I will also go live to share with you exactly what they are launching and why it is so game changing. Before I start talking too much and giving too many secrets away, let me not do that. Hey, good morning, Iris, good to see you. I was just about to say, like, make sure it's good morning for you, but you said good morning. So good to see you as well. The next event I will be doing is actually virtual. It's the UKG eSymposium, and it's all about human resources. For those of you who don't follow me on TikTok yet, you're welcome to go do so. I also repost most of my TikToks to LinkedIn. But on TikTok, I just launched a new video series that's going to lead up to that event. But human resources is a huge untapped opportunity as well for leveraging artificial intelligence, not just generative AI, but all sorts of AI. And so I'm going to talk about the different lenses upon which to look at human resources, human capital management, human engagement. Oh my gosh, did you know that 70% of the workforce is not super excited to go to work every day? I am kind of super excited to go to work every day. I love what I do, but not everybody enjoys work every day. And maybe even more shocking, 17%, I think it's like 17.8, but 17% of the workforce is actively sabotaging the work that they're doing. Actively, meaning that they are not happy, so unhappy that they're willing to make life harder for others. Now, I do know some people who leave a company or are quiet quitting. Have you heard this term, right? Who are quiet quitting, and they start to do things because they get bitter and irritated. I encourage you to find something you love. Right now, AI enables us to do so much more in so much less time. We can, and I'll talk more about this in some of the classes that I'm launching over the summer. It's going to be a great summer for learning, and I just encourage you to find something you love, even if it's a side hustle at first, and then moving from your side hustle to your real hustle. I have a couple people that I mentor right now that are doing just that. They're working full time, but they're creating a virtuous cycle so that what they're doing, how they're working in their day job fuels their excitement to work on something on the side. A lot of people always ask me, like, how do you maintain a family? I have 6 kids, as most of you know, right? How do you maintain a family with all your kids, with your husband, have a good relationship with your husband? How do you maintain a side hustle, a real job, like all the things? And I will tell you, it's all about building something I learned from Jeff Bezos, actually, or maybe it was one of his minions. But it was this concept of a virtuous cycle, right? That you're building a flywheel, and that if you build the flywheel in the right way, everything energizes everything else, and you go faster and faster. And I have found a way to do that. I actually decided it might be good to teach other people how to do that. I've taught it twice now, and we're about to launch another cohort this summer. Good morning, Priscilla. Thank you for being here. Welcome from Orlando. Good to see you. So that is where, oh yeah, so UKG eSymposium, I think it's on the 12th of June, but keep an eye out on my, I'll be definitely posting more about it. What else do I have here that I want to share with you? Oh yes. I can't believe I didn't mention it. So in June, moving on the 10th, I will be in San Diego talking to the APPA Association. I guess I associated twice, but you know what I'm saying. Super excited for that because my husband and I have never been to San Diego together, so that'll be fun. And then I'm going to be the keynote at, wait for it, Splunk, at the Splunk conference. I don't know how many of you remember when Splunk first came out. I do. And I remember I was working on Amazon on IBM WebSphere at the time. And I remember I used to be a system admin. I don't know how many of you know that about me, but I used to be a sysadmin and I used to manage production environments. So I got very good at reading log files like the Matrix. Like I could see looking at a stack trace happening in a log file. I knew exactly what was happening and where it was happening and how to fix it. It was kind of magical at the time. I didn't realize it, but it's super fun. And so as these companies started coming out, I think there was one called Loggly and then Darkly. And anyway, but Splunk caught my early attention because they were so passionate about the customer experience. They asked people like me how we like the product and what we would change. And those, I think, are some of the most, I don't know, adventurous organizations that are willing to drive their roadmap with customer feedback. It sounds like everybody would do that, that's pretty, why wouldn't you do it that way? It's actually really hard because when you listen to a customer, or worse, you ask a customer for their feedback, and you are now accountable to do something with that feedback. And so it creates, because what if you don't want to build that feature? What if you don't want to do that in that order? I remember at Amazon, that was something that we did all the time. Like we made sure 90% of our roadmap was driven by customer feedback. We had a leadership principle that was called working backwards, right? Starting with the customer and working backwards, never starting with our own selfish desires for a feature we wanted to look at. We would start at Reddit and look and see, what are people complaining about in our product? What do they wish we had? What do they wish was different? I remember two products that have asked me to become design partners that I absolutely love. One of them is called Limitless. And they also, I love this because guess what they did? I started using it. Granted, I'm a super user. Limitless was previously Rewind. So you could find them both. I'm using it right now, actually. And what it does is it records everything on my computer. So if I say a little snippet or have something happen, I can be like, oh my gosh, I love that. Let me go back and I don't know if you know this, but sometimes I say stuff and in my mind, I'm like, well, that was pretty good. Where did that come from? So I can go back and grab it and repost it. I can, create a snippet of it. I can create a transcript of it. So it creates a lot of flexibility. I can also just ask questions of meetings I just attended. Now, to be very candid with you, I have an attention deficit disorder. So I am always like squirrel and I'm very easily distracted. Just yesterday, I'm sitting next to my husband and he asked me a question about something. I can't remember what it was, but he asked me a question. I go into the app to answer his question, and in the app is a squirrel creating opportunity where in it had a little box that's, it was the movies. We were going to go see Garfield, which we did just go see, and it was awesome. But we went to go see Garfield, and in the app, it said, you have 1,400 points that are about to expire. Now, he just asked me a question. I see this box and I'm like, oh, I should go redeem some credits for to buy some stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, I completely ignored his question, which was, what time is the movie? So we knew when to leave the house. Completely ignored it. So as a result of this, I am constantly looking for tools that kind of think about my neurodivergence, right? The way that I think differently, and how can I accommodate and actually be somewhat convergent in my thinking in certain circumstances, right? Especially in meetings and in rendering results to a client. I want to make sure that it's understandable by them and not all over the place and scattered. And so Rewind CEO like literally pinged me and was like, let's hop on a call. And we've been on a call a couple times now. And I like feed him all of these ideas. And then I see them show up. Then of course that program got bigger. Now there's like 40 or 50 of us. But how cool is that to ask your customer for what they want and then build that? Number one, you know that what you're building means something, that it's valuable, that your customers will like you for it. So that is one, rewind.ai. I think it's, oh gosh, I think that's right. But anyway, you could Google Rewind or Limitless, which is their new name. They just rebranded. They also have a pendant that you can use. I ordered one. I don't have it yet. But it gives you the ability to record everything you're doing and then ask queries of that work. And I find that when I'm in an ADHD moment where I can't stay focused, I can go back to a moment where I wasn't as focused as I needed to be, and I can still gain the value and go in and grab the information that I need, which has been life-changing for me. Lots of things I actually do to make my life go smoothly. Being a nerd. Oh, awesome. My friends are in the house. Thank you for posting the link. Amazing. Thank you for that. Okay. So the second product that also does this customer, I think a lot of companies do this. These are just ones that reached out to me specifically, but it's one of my favorite products. I use it on stage all the time. I didn't realize 11 Labs was behind it, but HeyGen is one of my favorite companies. I went in, I created instant avatars. I've created a studio avatar. I've created a fine-tuned avatar. Like, I love it. You guys, you're all going to be able to see a little bit more of that work in the AI Leadership Institute. I've created a Nearly Noel bot that knows some of what I know, and you're going to be able to interact with it in real time, and it's like an avatar, so it talks back to you. It's very cool. It's not really for you to learn from. It's more for you to just have some fun interacting with a Nearly Noel bot, and also to maybe get inspired to build one of your own. But I was using HeyGen, and of course I provided feedback, as I always do as a good user, provided feedback on some of the features. And then a leader reached out to me and said, "Hey, we'd love to get on a call." I think I scheduled it for next week. We'd love to get on a call. And I was like, "Oh, I will dump all of the stuff that I want." I mean, there's so many cool things. Remember last time I talked to you about instant highlights on HeyGen? Awesome. But boy, it would be great if I could actually get it to also insert B-roll contextually. That would be amazing. Anyway, so I've got a lot of requests for instant highlights for the team, and we'll see how it goes. So all that being said, it is an extremely exciting time. I will be at Splunk on the 12th. It's in Vegas. If you're going to be in Vegas, I hope you will join me. So I was just trying to use my facial recognition to get my iPad to open where all my notes are. Oh, how many of you ladies, you might know this one, know the Female Quotient? I'm going to be one of their guests on their monthly podcast. I am so excited. They have 4 million viewers, listeners. I'm super excited about this. I am a big fan of Female Quotient. I see a lot of their Instagram reels and TikToks, and it's very inspiring stuff. It's often like celebrities. So I was really excited when they came to me and was like, "Would you like to be on?" I'm like, yes. So maybe it's the beginning of something amazing and new. Towards the end of this month, I will be in Chicago. For those of you who are in the Chicago area, I will be in Chicago at the AI conference. And I will be doing a virtual event for Emma Bowen. So that's also very exciting. Now, I don't know if I could tell you this, but I'm going to tell you anyway, just you and my friends. I also, my session has been accepted. I'm part of a panel. Do you guys remember, or not panel, a duel? Do you guys remember when I did a debate at George Mason? Some of you may remember. I did it with a company called Tech Duels. Well, we decided to recreate that Tech Duel debate in and at Grace Hopper. And we got selected and are now a featured session. It's going to be phenomenal. So I can't wait to tell you more about that as that develops. So that is my June. I'll send out a post so y'all can keep an eye on it. If you are in Chicago, San Diego, Las Vegas, DC, well, I'll also be in DC, but that's a private event, so I can't tell you what it is. Any of those locations, let me know. I'm going to be in Texas today and tomorrow. So let me know. I'll also be in DC on Friday. But let me know if you are in town, and I would love to just get together and have some coffee. All right. So the next thing let's talk about, I talked about UKG, talked about the new Adobe announcement comes out on the 6th. I can't wait to share that with you. The last thing, and one of my most excited things, is that I am launching the AI Leadership Institute so that you can become a member and get certified. I have 3 certifications that are releasing, and this is a little bit different than average certifications that you might get from a Google or Microsoft, because these are more in the area of leadership. So they will be AI Leadership Institute certifications. One of them is AI, the first one that's launching. It actually, I just created the first module today. I built out all the content. I just want to record it live with my friends. So we're going to do it live together. For those of you who are in the Institute, you'll see Zoom calls. You could just join the ones you can. If not, you can catch it on the replay, no big deal. But it's way more fun. If any of you are content creators or any of you are thinking about building a class of your own, the best thing to do is just to invite your friends. Say, come on over, join me. Let's have a conversation, teach what you know, and record it. So that's what I'll be doing. We'll open every session up for Q&A, but all this is happening inside the AI Leadership Institute. So we're doing the AI Leadership Masterclass that ends with a certified AI leader certificate from AI Leadership Institute. The second one is all about responsible AI. As many of you know, I'm a big believer in this. So that is going to allow you to become a responsible AI leader. And that will, again, be it'll be very dedicated to the tenets and principles of responsible AI across 3 cloud providers. This is the reason AI Leadership Institute exists. I am a Microsoft person through and through. I love Microsoft. I'm an MVP, at least I am right now. I get renewed next month. Fingers crossed. But one of the things I do appreciate is having knowledge across all of the providers so that you can make the best choice with the best technology and the best tool without question. I like to make no regret bets. And the way that I ensure that I don't have regrets is that I stay knowledgeable about all the platforms. So these classes that I'm going to be teaching over the summer, they will be all about like, how do you harness the information of the 3 major cloud providers? NVIDIA will be thrown in there a little bit, but we're really thinking about Microsoft, Google, and Amazon. So AI Leadership Masterclass is first. The second one is the Responsible AI Leadership class. And then the third one is not for everyone, though anyone is welcome to join. But it is all about women in leadership. So I have taught twice now a women in leadership class. I did it last summer and then the winter before that. And I loved it. I actually spoke to some of my Ukrainian friends during a very stressful time, a struggling time. But we were able to focus and refocus our attention, not necessarily away from the war, but more on how do we make a difference with our skills, our unique life experience in the world that we're in. And so all of these women were pretty technically inclined, but they really wanted to know, like, Noelle, how do I progress my career? Noelle, how do I manage my day? How do I manage my time? How do I manage performance reviews? Not only giving them, but taking them. How do I prepare for performance reviews? How do I get promoted? How do I get a raise? When I get a new job, how do I make sure I get a signing bonus? Like, there are just some basics that I have made standards in my life experience as I've gone from company to company. And I feel like I've gotten pretty good at it. So we will have a women in leadership class. Again, everybody is welcome, but it is for women leaders in order to do that. Oh my gosh, so wonderful to see you from Luxembourg. What's up? Nice to see you, Malcolm. Thank you for being here. Awesome. So nice to see you all. But yeah, so that's super exciting. You can see the link at the bottom. So right now, it's ridiculous. This is because I have a bunch of VIPs that joined my free community, the I Love AI community. That's that QR code. They joined my free community and they said, hey, when you launch this AI Leadership Institute, we want in. So they will get lifetime access. So next time I say join, like, y'all should join, but they got lifetime access to the AI Leadership Institute, which means that they're like my initial group of people. They will be joining the group over the next few weeks or so. I have a bunch of emails going to remind them to join. But for those of you who are not in the VIP program, meaning that you did not sign up to be a VIP, you did not get an iHeart AI t-shirt, you have an opportunity to join at the cheapest it will ever be. It's like $27 a month. You probably lose this much money in your laundry. Okay, maybe not that much. I hope not that much. But you definitely probably spend this much on food or, maybe on a Starbucks coffee or a lunch with a friend. I'm going to encourage you to take $27 of your money and invest it in yourself. It's not a lot. You're going to join the AI Leadership Institute. You will automatically get access to the very first course, which is the AI Leadership Masterclass. If you finish the course and pass all the knowledge assessments, it's not just a given. Once you pass the knowledge assessments, you will get an AI Leadership Institute badge. This is a accredited badge. It's going to be accredited through Credly. You'll get to use it on your LinkedIn profile. And this organization has been around a long time. We have worked, our clients are the clients I've already mentioned: Google, Amazon, Microsoft, all of these companies, Adobe, SAP, right? So this is not something that people will be like, well, who is that? Where did that come from? Like, it is an elite organization that we've created. We have spoken to 90% of the Fortune 500's executive leadership. We have helped them with their skills and their upskilling. And now I really do have a passion for making this available to as many people as possible. If you are a student and $27 hurts you, hey, I remember those days, just send me an email. Noelle@noelle.ai. I'll actually put that up here in the captions so you can see it. Let's see here. I'm going to say, let me see what this does. I'm just going to hit the show button and see what happens. There we go. Okay, no, I want to show this one. Okay, so I'm going to show that one and then follow me maybe. What's this one? Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to edit that real quick and give you my email address. Email, I'm going to say students are free. And I don't mean like lifelong students like myself. I mean, if you are actually in school, not working, not making an income, let me know. And you can send me a message. I do think there's huge value in investing in your education. So that I think there's value in it. I tried to make this price super accessible, but I will tell you right now that this price, you have to send me a note though. But this price is only in place for a week. So until Friday. On Friday, the price will go up. Obviously, like $27, like that's crazy. Tell all your friends. It will be amazing. You will get a certification out of it. The price will go up to $99 on Friday. And by the end of the summer, where we'll have 3 certifications available, it will go up to $147. The nice thing is that if you lock in now, you get this price forever. That means that you probably, right, you'll, I don't know, 3 certifications for, I don't know, $100. I mean, that seems like a deal. Obviously, this is not the end. It's only the beginning of our journey together, but it's super exciting. So let me tell you a little bit about the course. So I created this course. I'm going to see if I have it open. I created inside the iHeart AI community. If you can't afford $27 a month, totally fine. Again, I have been there. You could go to the free community in that QR code. That QR code, you'll get the first week of the course for free. You won't get a certificate, but at least you'll see, is this valuable? Like, do I like the way Noelle teaches? Do I like the concept she uses? Do I like the tools that she provides? And if you don't see that it's valuable, just stay in the free community. You'll get the first week of every course that we launch, which is awesome. You'll also get in the free community, the I Love AI community, you'll get a chance to be on monthly Q&A calls. We just had one and it was amazing. And you just get to like meet with AI enthusiasts. Like I said, we're over 400 at this moment. So lots of cool people in that group. But I do want to recognize those who want to take their career a little bit more, seriously, a little further than just being in a free community and chatting about cool tools. I want to teach you what I know, teach you what I've learned to progress my career in this space. And I've gone from being a sysadmin to a principal cloud architect to an evangelist or dev advocate, to a vice president, to an executive partner. So I've climbed the ladder, so to speak. So I will be sharing with you exactly what I've done along the way. So hopefully you'll find that helpful. Now's the time in this session. If you choose, you can share this live stream with whoever you'd like. You could just, I think there's a little link at the bottom. You can choose share so other people can see it. But I want to share with you a little bit more about the course itself. So it has 5 sections in it. I think it's 5. Yeah, because it's a 5-week course. The first section is called AI Foundations. And it's basically, I'm a little bit worried because a lot of people are jumping into artificial intelligence and they don't really realize that it's more than generative AI. And even if they do realize it's more than generative AI, they don't actually know what, like how much more or what is different. So this is a chance for me to talk to you about all the different types of artificial intelligence there are out there and how you don't necessarily need to go and become a data scientist, a machine learning expert, a statistician, a mathematician, though many people in the data science space are very well adept at mathematics. I mean, it is a math technology. However, in the days of generative AI or even applied AI, you need to be technical minded. I think anyone with a smartphone is, but you don't necessarily need to know the mathematics behind it. I like learning these things. I don't like building it, but I like to go and learn at least once how is something built before I choose to take that as an opportunity to scale whatever I'm trying to do. So in the first week, we're going to talk about what is AI, which is an introduction to these core components of artificial intelligence. It includes all the different types, right? So supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, transfer learning, all these different ways that machines learn and acquire knowledge. And then how, of course, you might choose to make that available to other people, whether it's through neural networks, whether it's through generative models, whether it's through a computer vision or decision logic. There's lots of different ways to deliver that information that you've grown statistically through an algorithm through a vehicle that actually sees an end user. And it might see an end user through natural language like ChatGPT, or it might actually be in a computer vision model used inside of a medical imaging system, right? There's lots of different ways for that to happen. And I think understanding that at first is really important. The next thing, of course, is equally as important is how does AI apply to our lives? I have over 100 devices in my house that are Alexa enabled or AI enabled. It includes our Roomba vacuums, our light sockets, our switches on our walls, our doorbell, right? All of these things. And so as I use AI throughout my life, I want to make sure you understand the opportunity for you. Maybe you don't go into an AI field professionally, but you can infuse AI into your daily life and make your daily life better. And so I want to make sure you know how to do that before we dive into some of the more specific business level aspects. I'm then going to talk to you about the different types of technologies that AI is being used with. And this is very broad from augmented reality and things like the new Apple Studio Pro. I think that's what they're called. So I have a new Apple device that I'll show you. I also have an Oculus. I also have a HoloLens. So kind of the evolution of spatial computing and how AI has been infused into those technologies. But then on top of that, like think about just our computer, right? I think I told some of you last time, if you were listening to the podcast, I was at Build and I got to play around with the new Copilot PC. And it's embedded. So now it's super contextual to what I'm working on. I don't have to open it. I don't have to tell it. I don't have to copy and paste. It just knows what I'm doing. And I think that is going to be a really interesting future for us. And then finally, we'll end the week with a primer on responsible AI to make sure that we are starting our AI foundation, understanding that all AI is responsible AI. It is a thread that's woven into every single project. It is not something to be ignored. Only at your peril, right? I've only seen projects fail miserably when disregarding these kind of fundamental concepts of building responsibly and ethically. And so I want to make sure you know that right out of the gate. So remember, those of you in the iHeart AI community, you will get that whole week for free. Week 2, we're going to start talking about AI in business. So we're going to talk about identifying opportunities where AI can be used. This is a rubric that I use with my clients today. How do you figure out where AI should be and which use cases to launch first? Then I'll talk to you about the basic steps to launch an AI project. I'll then also talk to you about the data needs for an AI project. And these might surprise you. It's one of those things, like most people are like, oh my gosh, I need to have all my data ducks in a row to build an AI project. And I have found that, sure, that maybe you do. But in many cases, I'm able to get just a couple data ducks in a row and then use synthetic data to do a little bit more. And I can't wait to talk to you more about that. Week 3 is about a deep dive. Now that we understand kind of how to, what's in the toolbox, how we might use it, like what use cases we might go after. Now it's time to dive into the responsible AI side, right? How we can actually build this in a way that we feel good about. So understanding bias, of course, understanding data privacy, understanding your responsibility as a builder and a consumer, and most importantly, how to build accountability into the projects that you're in. Not all of you are going to be, or maybe you're not leaders right now, but if you stay in the world of AI and you're passionate about it, and if you're here, you are, if you're passionate about it, you're going to want to figure out how do you use AI to help you manage projects better. And that takes us into the fourth week, which is all about AI-driven project management. This is not about, I mean, it's a little bit about managing AI projects, but really every project can be managed this way. And it's how do you leverage artificial intelligence tools and resources that you can use to make your projects easier to account for. In other words, what metrics are you going to measure success for your project? How are you going to maintain that measurement across the entire scope of time? And one of my most important sections that usually the executives I talk to are most excited to learn is the communication strategy. It might surprise you, but most of the time when AI projects start, they're like in this dark room. Have you heard of startups that are in stealth mode? Like stealth mode scares most investors and most people, unless you're already on the side of like, oh, I'm already in and we're stealth because we don't want to tell people about it yet. But most of the time, AI projects start in stealth mode. They kind of start with, well, we're not sure it's going to work yet, so we don't want to tell anybody. Organizations are much more healthy when the communication is open and honest and transparent and explainable. And so we'll talk about how do you manage a project, manage expectations, how do you oversell and over deliver. Yes, I said that right. How do you make sure you get everyone super excited about your project, but then not just deliver on what you promised them in the room, but do even more? And it's possible in every project to do this. Most people do the opposite. They undersell. They're like, well, we might be able to get you this, knowing very well that they can do more. And then they underdeliver. They get to the end, they're like, oh, yeah, we didn't quite get to that feature. Sorry. Such a disappointment. And it's not hard to differentiate yourself from that pack. It's like 1% change in the way that you work. And AI can help even accelerate that. So the fourth week is all about managing projects, leveraging AI to do that better. And then the final week 5, is all about preparing for the future, scaling AI projects. Not many projects have hit enterprise scale the way ChatGPT has, the way Amazon Alexa has, the way many of the models at Microsoft have. So I think it's important to kind of know. I always say success leaves clues. Let's look at those models that have successfully started and gone to market and been successful. And let's look at the clues that they've left. So I'll talk to you about understanding project outcomes, specifically in AI, planning a project against these kind of milestones that are easy to see once you know what you're looking for in these most successful AI projects. And then most importantly, how do you rinse and repeat that iteratively at scale in an agile way? I will have a couple bonuses throughout that around leadership, but that is it. That's the game. Those we're going to spend 5 weeks together. Again, it's all recorded. I will be doing these live. I'll invite you all to join me in the call so that you can be part of it, ask questions. I think it's an incredible opportunity. These classes will eventually be sold on Maven for, I don't know, $800-900. But right now, I'd prefer to build this content with you together. If there's any topic that I cover and you're like, I need more, or you feel like I didn't cover a topic at all, someone on TikTok was just like, why don't you talk about this? And I was like, why don't I? So I decided to go ahead and add that topic in. So if you see anything as you join the Leadership Institute and you see the outline of the curriculum, if you see a topic that isn't there yet, just let me know. Now we're going to start releasing content. In other words, recording. We'll start recording that content this week. So once you're in, you'll be able to, as soon as you're in the community, you'll see the community calendar will start getting added with dates that we have this content. I will also be doing weekly Q&A calls on the content. So every week we'll focus on it. And at the end of the 5th week, We have 2 weeks of a break, and then we start the next class. And we have 3 classes. We're going to do it all summer. It's going to be amazing, super fun. We have guest speakers, we have guest experts. If you're an expert and I haven't talked to you yet and you want to be in the class, let me know. I would love to invite you to the community. And all of our contributors are very well taken care of. So please come contribute and join a really amazing time. Like, I think it's going to be really cool. And I know some of you have seen, I'm not wearing it today, but some of you have seen my AI leadership stuff. So I have like a AI leadership Institute sweatshirt. I have an AI Leadership Institute t-shirt. So as you finish these courses, as a matter of fact, my very first member of the AI Leadership Institute at that location down below, my very first member got a free gift. I'm not telling what it is because they don't know what it is yet, but it's very cool. So you can imagine over the next month, we're going to be releasing lots of gifts to everybody who joins because we just want to create a family. Being a leader in AI, the world doesn't know it yet, but it's one of the most critical skills we are going to need, because ideas are just ideas, but ideas with leaders that deliver on the promises, that is when our future starts to change. And I am so excited about it. So thank you for joining me today. I hope I'll see you in the AI Leadership Institute. We're going to have our first Q&A call this coming weekend. I will be in Texas today. I will be in DC on Friday. I will be in San Diego next Monday. And then I will be in, what did I say? Oh yeah, Splunk in Vegas. So if you're in any of those cities, please reach out. Let me know. I would love it. Super excited to be here with you. Remember, if you're a student, hit me up. If you're at Miami-Dade specifically, you guys get free access because of the amazing support I've gotten from the Miami-Dade community. I am so very excited to lead this effort with you all and make this education affordable, accessible, and most importantly, career changing. So thanks so much. I'm really looking forward to working with you all. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to hop into the chat. Make sure I said hi to everybody. It's been amazing. Let's see here. Malcolm, what's up? I said hi to you. Oh, Sky's here. What's up? So cool. Ben, good morning. Jacob. Hey, Jacob. Oh, yes, exactly. Jacob, you know it. Yeah, contributors get I Heart AI t-shirts, but also if you join the iHeart AI community, we have different challenges every single month where you can earn free stuff there. So awesome. Thanks, Jacob. My son is named Jacob, so that's why I've said it like so many times, because I love that name. So welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing. Super excited to see you. I'll see you on the inside of the AI Leadership Institute. It's about to be big. And I'm glad to be here to help you on the journey. And I'm super excited to invite all of my friends to join me. So thanks a lot. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day and have a great week. Good morning, AI. It's going to be fun. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody. No, for real. Bye.